and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Branson. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you too. Everything couldn't be better.
No, you're a busy guy, though. You continue to keep moving around. Do you get enough time to relax?
Yeah, I do. No, I've got a good balance. But I love what I do. And I'm in a fantastic position to challenge myself and challenge all the people around me. So
sure. Now, before I was talking about Virgin Unite, but just before we do that, we're off the top of the show talking about record stores. I mean, record business was huge for you. You still have a couple of Virgin stores around?
Not very many, but we have a few. I mean, it's obviously with iPod and with downloading and with young people now spending their money on mobile phones and other things. Less and less is spent on the physical music. I mean, people love going to live concerts, and we're now expanding, the Virgin festivals and the V festivals around the world, and I think that will, in time, really replace our interest in music.
You think I wonder if there's going to be just an era where there are no more chain record stores.
I think the chances are that there will not be any more chain record stores in 10 years or so. I mean, it just seems, it just sadly you can't really run a business where every year there's a sort of 8% decline in the amount of people shopping. Mm-hmm. We've tried to reinvent our stores and sell other products, but that fundamentally they were always music stores, and that's what people expected.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, there's more than enough ways. As you said, you've diversified your business. The Virgin Unite thing, healthcare workers, motorcycles, and reaching remote parts. Tell people about that.
No, well, we do a lot of work in Africa, and there are just masses of different problems. So first of all, we're setting up a war room to try to coordinate all the different agencies in Africa that are tackling all the different problems. And then tonight we're raising money for one of those specific areas, and that is trying to get medicine out to the villages, the difficult villages to reach. So we're raising money for motorcyclists who can have medical workers on, who can get drugs and help out to remote parts of Africa. We call them Heaven's Angels.
Nice. I guess it's just require really creative solutions, but almost it seems like a simple execution. Well, if we can't get out there, why don't we just get out there in a different way? Yeah,
I mean, I think that there are something like 100,000 different organisations working in Africa. They're fantastic organisations, but there is no there's no coordination. So I think with the War Room, which I'm slightly unfortunate title for it,
but all things being equal, yes.
but there, I think if we can help them all be coordinated, we can go out there and look for best practices. If one country is finding one good way of dealing with malaria, but another country is finding another good way, we can analyse which is the most cost-effective way of dealing with it and disseminate that information out to the whole of Africa. Mm-hmm. I really do believe that the problems of Africa can be got on top of, and I think if entrepreneurs get involved in social issues and use our business nous to try to sort of see there's a better way of organising things, I think hopefully that can help a bit.
Is there an openness on all the parties, the different countries, the different organisations? Is there an openness to get together?
Yes, I think there is. I mean, even in South Africa, where Thabo Mbeki, the president, has had this problem relating HIV and AIDS as connected.
Well, he's actually been perhaps one of the worst world leaders when it comes to dealing with this issue.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has had a major problem, but he has welcomed the War Room, and we're going to set it up in Cape Town, and we're going to try to help him overcome a blockage he's had basically in his mind as far as HIV and AIDS are concerned. He's just. There were a few sort of mad scientists some years ago who said that HIV and AIDS were not connected, and he believed them. And he's having to climb down. It's obviously very embarrassing. A lot of people have lost their lives in South Africa, mm-hmm. I think, as a result.
In terms of all the forces on the ground, the Africa story and the many countries, many different stories, many things to deal with when it comes to that continent, and all the celebrity attention that's been paid to it. Has there been a tangible change on the ground with all the hype and the attention that's come along?
I think that there are hopeful signs. I mean, if you take Darfur, we have an organisation we're involved in and helped set up called the Elders, and it's led by Nelson Mandela, and he's got the 12 most respected people in the world together to go to conflict situations and try to resolve them. And they were there a month ago. And you know, I hopefully we can avoid, you know, like North Sudan and South Sudan fighting each other again. And if they don't fight each other again, I think the problems of Darfur are more likely to be resolved. So definitely, you know, having people like Clooney going to these places and drawing attention is important. And, you know, with Virgin Unite, we've got celebrity artists like Natalie Imbruglia who, you know, go to Nigeria and try to alert the world to a particular problem, the problem of fistula, which is a problem that happens to young girls who become pregnant too young. It splits their inside, they become incontinent, their boyfriend rejects them or their husband rejects them and their parents reject them. And you know, there's about 200,000 or 300,000 of these young girls who, you know, are just living a ghastly life. But a small operation costs $200 can put them back on the road again. They can have a normal life again. So, you know, so I think, you know, having celebrities going and alerting people and raising money, it can be very effective.
I think a lot of this too, and I've been a couple of times, but very brief. It's just the issue of women's rights and equality plays such a major role in this, I guess, set of circumstances.
I mean, women in Africa, where women are given a voice. You know, if you take an African village, it is the women that want to see their children grow up and be fed and, you know, be well. The men, I'm afraid, you know, do not play as positive a role. And, you know, so if you can actually, you know, if you've got money to give, you know, give it to the women and they're much more likely to put it to good use.
When you take, I mean, you come to Canada a lot. You've had this event that happened tonight. When you go here, United States, in the United Kingdom, do you get a similar response everywhere? Are different countries, and you know, who are in G8 countries, G7 countries, are they reacting differently to what you're saying?
I think that that of the three countries you mentioned, you know, the individuals are equally concerned, and some individuals can do something about it, some can't. You know, global warming is another issue that we take a lot of time and energy over, and obviously the American politicians are the absolute worst. You know, Canada could be better,
to put it nicely.
You know, I think actually on that one, I think Great Britain are taking a lead on, you know, on the need to tackle global warming, and I think there are ways in which you can tackle global warming without affecting the sort of gross national product of the country, and it's a matter of, you know, having politicians really, you know, thinking hard about how it can be done. And if they want any ideas, be happy to give them some.
I want to ask you just one question on a personal note. You are often also talked about as an adventurer, and when we heard the story of Steve Fawcett being lost, one of the things that we thought about here was, I wonder how, you knew him, right? I wonder how Richard Branson feels about this, because you are quite the risk taker.
No, I mean, Steve was the most incredible adventurer alive. You know, maybe the most incredible adventurer in the last, couple of hundred centuries. You know, he retired when he was 55. He got 125 world records under his belt.
After 55.
After 55, wow. in 20 different areas, so areas that he'd never participated in before. So he became the greatest gliding pilot in the world. He became the greatest aviator in the world. He became the greatest climber in the world. He became, you know, the greatest balloonist in the world, the greatest swimmer in the world.
I mean, a hell of a survivor, because he had a lot of really close calls.
Oh, he had some incredible close calls. And so, you know, it's obviously very, very sad for him, you know, just to die, you know, out scouting for, you know, in a small plane, scouting for his next world record, which was going to be the land speed record, and he wanted to try to beat 1,000 miles an hour in a car. So, you know, there we really thought he was going to die, you know, I actually persuaded him, fortunately, to write his autobiography last year. So at least there's, you know, he's got all those wonderful stories in a book.
Absolutely. Good to see you again.
Lovely to see you too.
Thank you much. So Richard Branson, everybody. All right, lots more to come on the program, including one of the greatest actors of the past 30 years, and the man everyone wants